Welcome to my creative YouTube channel, The Pianists, and a special welcome and hello to our Croatian family and friends. Dobar dan. Well, my name is Marjam and I live in Belgium. I am a piano teacher, but I have a passion for sewing, sometimes making garments, sewing, making hats and knitting. My native language is Dutch, but I make my videos in English. So the piano music that I played for you in the introduction is composed by a Norwegian musician, and his name is Olafur Arnalds. And I made the choice for this Norwegian music because today I will chat about my knitting experience with Holst Garn, and that is a Danish wool shop. And I will introduce you to my daughter, who is a singer-songwriter and lives in Sweden with her husband and my little grandson Felix. So of course I thought it was a good idea to combine 3 Scandinavian countries into today's episode. A family visit from Sweden, knitting yarn from Denmark, and piano music from Norway. Of course, I will mention all the details in the description box below the video, and I also will add timestamps, and you can find that on the bottom of the video, so that you can easily navigate through the video and select any section that you would like to watch. So let's have a cup of tea or coffee and spend some time together. Well, I will start today by telling you all about my knitting experience with Holst yarn. I hope I can explain everything as well as possible in English, because that is not so easy for me. Well, I got to know this yarn by following a few of YouTube videos, very interesting YouTube videos, and I wanted to try the yarn and knit a sweater for myself, yeah. But before starting with a big project, a sweater for myself, I wanted to test the yarn and see what the result was, what kind of fabric that I would create by knitting with this yarn. So in, I think, November 2020, so that is already a while ago, I started I ordered a little bit of Holst Coast, which is the cotton merino blend. I will tell you some more about it, but I have my notes because I don't want to make any mistakes. So the Holst Coast, that is this one here, Holst Coast. I will try to show you, yeah. Of course, I will mention the website in the description box below the video, the website of holstgarn.dk. It is a 2-ply yarn, and it's a mix by 55% of merino lamb's wool and 45% of cotton. And you can buy it in 88 beautiful colors, which is lovely, of course. And why I like Holst Garn so much is because the price, you can buy it on a reasonably affordable price, because they produce the yarn and you can find in the yarn is still a bit of excess spinning oil and excess dye that you have to wash out yourself. So that's why that they can offer the yarn a bit more budget friendly than other wool and cotton yarns. So I was really inspired by this yarn, Holst Garn. That's why I started to do my preparations. So the first thing that I did with the Holst Coast, which is a very fine yarn, because on 50-gram cake balls you have approximately 350 meters of yarn. So I knitted flat, not in the round, but I did some swatches flat, and I think this one is knitted with needles number 2 or 2.5, because it is already such a long time that I have knitted this swatch, and it is really very light and very thin. You can even see a bit through the fabric, very light. So this one is not blocked. I did the same. I knitted an identical swatch with cotton 1 thread, held single, and I blocked the swatch, and it is very soft but still very thin. So I was not really convinced to make a garment with the yarn held single for myself. It's so thin. Then the second experiment was to knit with the yarn held double. That means you take two threads of Holst Coast. Well, yes, and in this swatch I had 2 different colors, a very light blue and a little bit darker. I would have to look for the colors, but I cannot remember by heart. So this swatch I knitted also flat, with 2 yarns of Coast held together, threads of Holst Coast held together, and that is the fabric that you create. It is not blocked. This swatch is not blocked. So you can see there is a little bit of stretch, and it comes back, the fabric comes back. That's nice. Yeah, but it is a little bit open, of course, between the stitches. But that is very nice and soft fabric. Then, of course, I did the same swatch, exactly the same amount of stitches and rounds, or rows I mean, but then I blocked the swatch to see the result. And it shrinks a little bit, and the fabric gets more dense and a little bit heavier. So that would be great for excuse me, for a cardigan maybe. So, but it is a little bit thick. The fabric is a bit thick, so that was not exactly what I was looking for at that moment for a sweater for myself. So this swatch, the result, this is knitted flat with 2 strands of Holst Coast held together. You can see it here, two threads of Holst Coast. So it's a mix of cotton and merino lamb's wool. I also did a swatch with Holst Coast single thread, knitted in the round, just to see the effect of different techniques. So this is knitted in the round on short double pointed needles. I did a little bit of stockinette stitch. Then I tried some color work, as you can see, and color work is, yeah, the fabric that you create with the color work with 2 colors of Holst Coast held, 1 thread, you knit with 1 thread but 2 colors. This fabric is nice, it's okay, but it's very fine to knit with. I think maybe it's a beautiful yarn to knit shawls or make lace patterns. That would be great. But still, I was not convinced to knit a sweater with Holst Coast with 1 thread. So I did some more research on the website of Holst Garn, which you will find in the description box below the video. And Holst Garn is also offering the yarn Holst Titicaca, and that is 100% pure thin alpaca. Very, very, very fine yarn also. I cannot show you because it's inside here. Very, very fine yarn, and there is on a ball of 50 grams you can find approximately 400 meters of yarn. And if you visit the website, you will read that you can knit this alpaca yarn together with Holst Coast and other yarns that Holst Garn is offering. But if you knit the alpaca yarn with the coast, you have to go up half a size with your knitting needles. So that was my next step. I ordered a little bit of alpaca yarn to experiment and see what kind of fabric that I would create with knitting the Holst Coast together with the alpaca yarn. So that's what I did, and oh yeah, I really love the fabric that comes out if you knit with 2 threads held together, and it is a thread of Holst Coast and a thread of 100% alpaca. Very, very, very fine. But you knit it together and you get this fabric. So this swatch I knitted flat on 2 needles, and I really was convinced of this fabric. So I decided if I make a sweater for myself, I will do it that way with Holst Coast and Holst Alpaca, the 100% alpaca together. So that was already, yeah, I was happy to know, finally know what I wanted to do with the Holst yarn. Of course, to be sure of the size, if you make a garment, of course it is very important. In the cotton yarn, Holst Coast, cotton merino blend, Holst Coast, there is, when you buy it, there is still an amount of extra spinning oil in the yarn, on the yarn, and excess dye. So you could knit just your garment and wash it, because it will wash away the first wash, but it will also shrink. So that is a bit difficult to know how much it will shrink. So the way that I had this, yeah, I can't find the word immediately, but what I did was, when I had my balls of yarn, I made very long skeins, and I have pre-washed all my yarn until I saw that the excess dye there was no excess dye coming out anymore, and the spinning oil, of course, is gone also. And then I let it dry, and I made from this dry long skeins, I made a cake ball like that with my wool winder, so that I can easily knit with it. Then, to be sure what I had to do with the alpaca, I sent a mail to Helle Holst to ask if it was necessary to also wash the alpaca, but that is not necessary. But the alpaca has no excess oil or excess dye in the yarn anymore. It's very soft. So I have pre-washed all the yarn, dried and wound it again into cake balls before starting to knit my sweater. Okay, so the next step was, of course, making a swatch for my sweater. Oh yeah, I forgot to take my book to show you. No matter. I had an idea, because based on a picture in one of my books, but I needed to make my mathematics to know what to do for my size. So first I had to make a swatch, but this time I needed to knit the swatch in the round, of course, because I wanted to knit my sweater from top down, knit it completely in the round. So that was what I did. I cannot remember exactly how many stitches that I cast on, but that's what I did. Yeah, I cast on here and I knitted top down. First I made a little rolled border because I wanted that for my neckline, and then I knitted stockinette stitch in I guess needles 3, then 3.5, because I wanted to be able to make a comparison for the kind of fabric. And then because I wanted at the bottom of the body of my sweater, I wanted this lace pattern, I also knitted a few rounds in this lace pattern, because I wanted to see what would be the final result when blocked, of course. So I was happy with the result. It's very, very nice, and the alpaca, yeah, it makes the fabric softer and it adds a little bit of fluffiness to the fabric. So then, of course, I needed to count the stitches and the rows to be able to decide on my gauge and start my sweater, of course. And I have been working very hard the last, oh, sorry for that. I cast on my sweater the stitches for the neckline on the 9th of March 2022. And today we are now Sunday the 10th of March when I am recording this video, and I will show you, yes, what I have been doing with my Holst Garn sweater. So that is the result. I will make a little bit of place. I knitted a cast on for the neckline. I made a rolled border with 1 round of purl stitches, and then I knitted the yoke with the I did the increases by yarn overs, one round, 2, 3, 4. Then I divided for the stitches for the sleeves and the body. For the body, under the sleeves I had to cast on a few more stitches for the underarm. And I saw that here on this place, I guess it would have been a bit too big, so I did some decreases. Yep. And then I started with the lace border. It is, you cannot maybe not see everything very clear because it has to be blocked to show the really beautiful result. The lace pattern is not extremely difficult. It is a repeat of 17 stitches over 4 rounds. But I must say, with the yarn overs and the stitches that you have to knit together, and the yarn Holst Coast and Alpaca held together, yeah, I needed a lot of patience to do that, and good light, because it's not easy for your eyes. Yeah, because if you have to knit 2 stitches together and you knit with the yarn held double, with 2 yarns, 2 threads I mean, you have to pick up 4 threads. So, and if you miss one, yeah, it will show in the fabric. So yeah, but I'm happy with the way it looks, and yeah, I think it will fit, I hope so. So this is a work in progress, and I will tell you more about it as we go on. that was, yeah. And I have ordered also Holst Coast and Holst Titicaca in a red color for a next project, because we are now 10th of April 22, and I guess maybe in a few months I will start for another sweater for winter, because that I think this will be too warm to wear during summer. For now it would be okay, but summer I think it will be too warm. So I will tell you all about it. I must say I really like the yarn, and it is a very nice collection that Holst Yarn is offering, and you can buy lots of colors, and it is really still budget friendly, I must say. So that was it for my Holst yarn knitting experience. Well, I have a little surprise for you now. Yes, after a period of more than 2 years, my daughter was finally able to travel and visit us in Belgium. So of course I was extremely happy. And maybe you can remember in my episode number 15, I guess, or maybe 16, number 16, I guess, I have talked about the pair of socks, 4 pair of socks that I had knitted for my grandson Felix. And I finished 1 pair of socks with a leather sole. If you watch this episode, you will see what I mean, because they are in Sweden now, the socks, and I cannot show them to you. But they were cute. I was very happy with the socks, but they were already too small for Felix, as you will see on the pictures that I will show you here. Yes, they are really lovely, adorable and cute, but they ended up on someone else's feet. Yes, that's it. That's how is life. And as we are a family of musicians, I couldn't resist to make some video recordings of Felix playing the piano, improvising, experimenting on the piano, together with my son Tobias. So I will make a little video sequence with this, these lovely boys making music together. So enjoy this little bit of music footage, and I will be back in a minute with you. as you can see, music runs through the family. Well, to finish off for today, I want to introduce you to my daughter Viola. And as you know by now, Viola lives in Sweden with her husband and their son Felix. Yes, Viola, she is a double bass player and a singer-songwriter. And as long as I can remember, she has always been singing. Even as a baby, she was always constantly humming. So I will share with you now one of her beautiful songs, and of course I will mention all the links in the description box below the video so that you can find more music, more of her music, should you wish to do so. I would be very happy if you would like her music, of course. I am very proud of my daughter. So, this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy my daughter's music and see you next time.
Silent words that I hurl into space. I miss you. My lips so big, island they smile, but it's fake, and I feel blue. And who's to say what's real? Who's to tell me what to feel? When everything is fleeting and the hours slowly bleeding. Love her, she loves him, he loves me. Circle complete. I sway in a haze all these days on repeat. My heart still beats. Who's to say what's real? Who's to tell me what to feel? Nobody can. When everything is changing, all I know is slowly draining. Who's to say what's real? Who's to tell me what to feel? And everything is changing, and all I know is slowly draining. I sing silent words that I hurl into space.